So, there's an awful lot that goes on behind the scenes here at Civic Center TV, and usually we let it live behind the scenes, but every once in a while we like to, go back, peek back behind the curtain and see what's going on. And to help us with that a little bit is one of our senior producers here at Civic Center TV and Michigan Digital, Ken Cooper. Hi, Ken.
Hi, Dave. How you doing today?
I am doing fantastic. Thank you for joining us. Ken is one of about 30 people that make all of this magic happen, and I'm so glad he's here today because we have been in the middle of a really busy, exciting couple of weeks. We were broadcasting live at Temple, Israel just last week, of course, for the amazing Michigan Week broadcast. And then we were also at a youth assistance. Tyler is now broadcasting from his house. I am at a studio this morning, right in our studios, of course. But we've done several meetings this week on Civic Center TV from various community town halls, West Bloomfield, Keego Harbor. So all of this, how does all this work? I thought I'd share some of that with our audience. But Ken, we are living in an amazing technological age right now that lets us at this level of television, and we're not CNN here, let's just be honest, right? But lets us act just like we are. I mean, you look at the screen, this looks like CNN. You're in Troy, I'm in West Bloomfield, we're at the town hall, we're in Keego Harbor, we're in Sylvan Lake, we're broadcasting live all over the place. And there is some amazing technology that really isn't all that much different than what people have on their phone right now. The streaming technology has emerged and exploded and has made what we can do at Civic Center TV just so much more powerful. And the bottom line is we can broadcast live from virtually anywhere. It's an exciting time, isn't it?
It really is. And the ability for people to, basically use their phone to come in and, have an interview just like this is leaps and bounds on what we could do, in earlier times. And to that same point, for broadcasters like ourselves, that technology is even more prevalent, and we can do much more with what is available today than what was available, just a few years ago. So if the pandemic taught us anything, it's that using video to communicate with the people that we work with, the people that we live with, families getting together, communities getting together is a lot easier than it is today, and can even be, more polished than it was in previous times.
Well, and it's really quite amazing because it was a pandemic. If anything good came out of the pandemic, it was Zoom. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, we didn't Zoom like this. We had Skype and some other things, but we didn't Zoom like this. And now I've Zoomed 3 or 4 times today. And so I know that people know that, and that's revolutionized what they're able to do at home. But you're on live television right now, and you're Zooming in, and yes, again, this is community television, but what we're doing here right now is exactly what they're doing at CNN and MSNBC and Fox and ABC and all the other national networks, WDIV in Detroit, our Channel 7, our Fox affiliate here. They all use Zoom, what we're doing right now to get your signal in here. Just like we use at home, except we polish it up a little bit, and it's become pretty high quality stuff, even for putting people on television.
Yeah, and it doesn't take, massive amounts of equipment like it did in the past, where you would, go to a football game and you see those large trucks sitting outside the stadiums. Those are still there, but, we can produce a lot of technology and connectivity that we wouldn't already be able to do using just, things like your cell phone, things like your laptop. And we can translate those into something that benefits the community, both in terms of timeliness, where we can react quickly and get them information in a very short time frame, and everything looks great. So, why wouldn't we want to take advantage of those technologies as they come to us?
So let's talk about a couple of things. First of all, let's talk about it from the consumer side and
Hmm.
talk about what you have set up in your office. And it's really very typical. And talk about what people can do if they want to, tighten up their game a little bit on Zoom. And maybe they are going to be on TV. Maybe it's someone who's in public relations and is working at home. But maybe you
Yeah.
just want to look a little bit cooler when you're, in a meeting or when you're talking to your kids halfway across the country. So let's start there, and then we'll talk about
Sure.
what we're doing here and all the tools we're using, which really aren't all that much different. But let's start and talk a little bit about what you can do to make Zoom good. And anything that involves anything video starts with having the right amount of light.
It really does. And I think, to your point, that is probably one of the underutilized things that a lot of people in Zoom meetings don't take advantage of. If you've got good light, you're automatically going to look better. So, one of the things that I see a lot of people doing on Zoom is they'll have a light that is behind them. And so the focus, kind of shifts around. If you have a little bit of light on your face, I think I've got a little bit of light on my face anyway.
Yeah, you look good.
Then that's half the battle. So when we set people up for these Zoom interviews and such like that, one of the most crucial things that we always tell people is make sure you have good light.
Yeah, and so here's what you want to do. Just a couple of tips from us to make your Zoom meetings look like real TV. Don't sit in front of your window. Having a big
No.
light source behind you will make you look very dark and people won't be able to see you. Get some light in front of you and you'll look just like you're on TV, because the camera in your computer and the microphone in your computer works really good. So that's tip number one. And you may have some tips to add to this. Tip number two, take your computer and put it on a box or something. Get it up a little bit so you're looking straight at it. So many people you've got yours in a good spot. A lot of people are they're looking down on their computer, so we can't really, you see them and they don't look good. And think real carefully about that background in the back, that automated background that Zoom puts in there. If you're going to be doing something professional like on TV, you might want to consider not using that. Those things are really cool when they work great, but when they don't work great, they look pretty bad. And then you see your
really
face
look
getting like
awful.
half cut off and everything. It can look a little bit funky. Anything you want to add?
Well, I was just going to say, you're probably going to move to this next, but audio is really the next thing that everybody needs to consider. Video is great, but if you don't sound good, then that's the first thing that people will generally pick up on.
And it's so easy. A lot of times you just use a microphone in your computer. If you're in a quiet room, you're going to be fine. But if you add a simple little microphone and some headphones, it will make a huge difference, and you'll sound like $1,000,000. And you can go into virtually any store you want now and find a microphone with a USB connection. You just plug it right into your computer, or you can use your headphones with a mic built right in, or even your earpods, AirPods, whatever those things are called. That works real good. So audio, lighting, and getting yourself in a good environment, and you're going to look like broadcast TV. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Those are the three big ones right there. The only other thing that I would recommend to people in a Zoom type of environment is just be aware of your surroundings. Be aware if somebody's going to be coming into the room, or if your dog is going to jump up on your lap in the middle of a meeting or in the middle of a interview or something like that. Like you see from this shot, you'll see I have a microphone here. It looks a little awkward when you take me out of the square boxes like we have for interviews and such. But the quality of the microphones, as Dave mentioned, you can spend, less than $100, sometimes less than $50, and get really good quality equipment that really enhances it. But in this case, I'm just using the microphone that's in the speakers that are in my ears.
So you put that microphone in there as a prop to make everybody think you had this big fancy
something
microphone.
I was using earlier.
Okay, I get it.
But the advantage too is in using the earbuds is I don't have to worry about the sound that's coming out of the speakers in my laptop, going back into my microphone. So, which is another common problem that causes some not so great audio. So if you've got some headphones to put in, you're well ahead of the game.
All right, so all these tips are really good for you. It doesn't matter whether you're going to be on TV or not, but if you're going to be in a Zoom meeting and you want to look good in your Zoom meeting, that's all you need to do. You don't need to go out and spend a lot of money. Just those tips will make all the difference in the world. At Civic Center TV, we have totally revolutionized all of our equipment to take advantage of this. And when we're out in the community, we're broadcasting live with one of three ways. Either on our phone, I literally have a stand for my phone, and oftentimes, if you see me at a location, which you will later on in the week, I'll be either broadcasting live right off my phone, which is absolutely spectacular, broadcasting live right off the computer, or when we get into a big event, then we've got cameras and everything, and we're sending our signal back. We've totally replaced all of our infrastructure in our studio, so it's got Zoom integrated right into it. So like you see Ken and I here, Ken's on Zoom, I'm in the studio on cameras. You can't tell the difference. And we've made that upgrade to be able to interact better with guests like you, Ken, and to also accommodate our live broadcasts. And we're in the middle of a huge upgrade right now in Keego Harbor and Sylvan Lake to update the internet in those locations and deploy some new streaming technology, so we'll be able to improve the reliability and the quality of those meetings. When I started here 10 years ago, if we wanted to go live somewhere in our community and it was something other than like one of the buildings that we had all wired up, forget it. Now, if I want to do a live report at Orchard Lake and Maple Road, and Tyler and I already did this winter, and we had some of those bad weather days, I was driving around in my car, I mounted a camera in my car, and we were driving up and down the streets of West Bloomfield, giving you the ability to see what was really happening on the streets. The thought that we could do that on community television even 2 or 3 years ago was just beyond our expectations. It's here now, and it's really exciting. And except when Jared makes a mistake and hits the wrong button, yeah, we're all human. It all works swimmingly. And I just wanted a chance to thank you for all the hard work you, our technicians, and the crew does that, and let our audience know they can make themselves look better on Zoom. And we've got this new technology that is allowing us to broadcast live from anywhere. So, Ken, the audience is going to have to forgive us a little bit because it's summertime. We're not going to be in the studio a whole lot. It's nice. We're going to be out with our listeners and viewers broadcasting live with them, thanks to the hard work of you and our crew.
Yeah, we're going to be out in the community. There's all kinds of great things going on in the community this summer. I've talked a lot with our Parks and Recs people. I can't wait to see some of the concerts that are going on, among all the other things. And we'll be there to bring all these things to you right here on The Splash to kind of give you updates as what's to come in the week. And it's quite frankly a lot of fun. So you got to love coming to your job every day when there's all these great things going on in your community.
All right, Ken, thanks for a couple of minutes to let us take a look behind the scenes. And, just really, when you mentioned concerts, when I think about the concerts at Marsh Bank that we've covered over the years and the challenges in getting those on the air live, I literally could go out to Marsh Bank with my phone and a microphone and put those concerts on, and they would look pretty darn good. So we'll probably drag a little bit more gear out for that, like we did at Michigan Week this last week. But thank you for your time and letting our audience know some of the things they can do to look better on Zoom and some of the things we're doing behind the scenes to embrace all this new technology. Good to see you.
Great. Thanks for having me on today. I look forward to seeing everybody out this summer.